What's going on? Been about 2 years since I've done a stream on here. If you can hear me okay, put a message in the chat. If it's too loud, too soft. Like I said, it's been a minute since I've streamed, so I want to know how the quality is. Let me know how that quality is. Hey. This is like a off the cuff stream. But let's see here. 9 o'clock. Wait. Oh, you know what? Okay, we're good. Am I seeing correctly? How do I get off this? I don't want the chat like right here. Sorry. I am in the middle of setting this up. What's up, Jimmy? What's up, Carson? What's up, Anonymous? Morning, good morning. Anyways, let's jump over to boom. If there's any problems with like the stream or anything like that, let me know in the chat. I'll keep that monitored. But as for now, it is Tuesday, April 7th. Just had some 8:30 news. Nothing crazy. Let's go pop over and look at the chart. Let's look at the chart. We're kind of trickling in here. Yeah, I didn't announce this stream. But anyways, I was bullish on the indices today. You can see I've tagged it blue. Blue means bullish, red means bearish for the day. Gold inside day yesterday. So far inside day today. Not really seeing a lot on gold. We're just in this range. So that's gold. Nothing really catching my eye there. Indices though. And oil we'll look at too. Oil's close to that high. High up here. What is the thumbnail for my video? Hold on, I gotta change that. I look like an idiot in that. How do I take a screenshot? Is there not a way to like screenshot on OBS? Market opens in like 20 minutes, so we got time to just chill out, chat. How do I save source screenshot? There we go. Oh no, no, not doing that. Talk louder? Yeah, I need to like figure out why my mic's soft. I have to like get right up on it. But yeah, I'll go over the top-down stuff here in a second. I just want to change the thumbnail for my video because it's me with my mouth open, like staring at the screen. Masters Week, correct. Oh, okay. Save to the desktop. That's where it went. That's a good screenshot. We'll use that for the thumbnail. I can figure out how. There's got to be a way. How to change YouTube live stream thumbnail. God, I don't want it to. I don't want it to be that. Look, this is what I'm talking about. This is what my thumbnail looks like right now. It's just me looking like an idiot. And I'm trying to change that. I don't want it to be this. So if anyone knows how to change that, let me know. But we'll let people trickle in. I don't know if I can change it. That's annoying. Oh well. Fuck it. When you open the front camera. Yeah. But yeah, no news today really. No high impact news. We have FOMC, just the meeting minutes tomorrow. As for rest of the week, CPI Friday. That's pretty much all I see. And then next week, I always like to kind of look a week ahead to see nothing really. So that's that. That is that. Let's go ahead and let's dive into some analysis. We got 15 minutes till morning. To New York Open. Let's dive into that. What's the thumbnail look like? Is it me on the charts? I hope so. I should have like created a thumbnail for this. Oh yeah, look, it's different now. Okay, that's fine. It's just kind of slowly updating as I'm live, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I sent a tweet out for the stream. Yeah, I sent a tweet out. Cool. All right, that's on Twitter. I probably should put something on. I should probably put something on Instagram as well. Let's do that real quick. All right, guys, smile. Say cheese. Hold on. My desk is dusty. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna take a picture of the chat. We'll see that. All right, you guys are about to be famous. I gotta open up YouTube. All right, like I said, it's been like 2 years since I've done a stream, so I gotta remember like where everything is. Content live. Oh, I figured out how to change it. Okay, I figured out how to change it, but no worries. How do I pop this chat out? Pop out chat. There we go. Sorry, I have two monitors, by the way, if you guys are curious about my setup. My main execution screen, which is what you guys are seeing right here on stream, and then I have a second monitor right here where I have, the indices side by side, and that's my SMT chart, and that's like my overview chart. I don't execute on that chart. I just kind of look at it and monitor the overall market. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's minimize that. This over here. Everything looks good. All right. And I'll put my little chat. I got you guys, as you can see right here. Why am I not posting trade breakdowns? Because I'm not really taking that many trades. But I kind of just fell out of making content. I've struggled with making content over the years. Like if you've been following me for years now, you know that like I'm sporadic with the content. And it's really just because like I got into trading to really just for the freedom aspect. So when content just feels like a job to me. And you're also like competing with like if you're trying to like go viral and get views, right? It can be discouraging sometimes to like get no views when you like create good content, But I think the live streaming stuff is a lot easier for me because I just wake up and do what I do every day. The only difference is I'm streaming it now. So if you're here and you want to learn, that's great. I'll start off by saying this stream is not going to be like for entertainment, right? I'm not going to sit here and like entertain you. This is literally me trading the way I trade and then hopping off. I'm just looking to get a win and hop off the stream. That's literally all I'm trying to do. So if you're down with that and that resonates with you, then great. You can stick around. If not, no big deal. I'm sure there's plenty of other people who are, way more obnoxious, loud, wear costumes when they stream. Like, if that's what you're looking for, you're in the wrong spot. My old profile picture. I made it, bro. All right. Here we go. Scoot. We'll do this. Dude, I'm not in the zone right now. Here we go. I'm gonna make it look cool. Hold on. I feel like a boomer right now. And for those who are wondering what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to take a screenshot so I can post it on Instagram. You're about to be famous, Carson. Crop. I gotta make it. There we go. This is about to be fire. Yeah, I made it before AI. Photoshop, bro. All right. Once I get this posted, we can chat. I just got to get the link. Copy it over. Also, it's pretty sick that like there's 30-something people in here right now who are interested in what I have to say. And I haven't done one of these in 2 years. So that's pretty cool. Link. Bear with me. You got 10 minutes till open, so. Watch here. Live trading on YouTube. Wait, what did I call this stream? I called it New York Open Live Day Trading. Okay. First stream in 2 years. Bet. Paste. I swear I'm not ignoring you guys. Gotta draw a cool little arrow. Oh shit. Boom, posted. All right, we're good. Gonna keep going live. I don't know. I think if I do, I don't want it to feel like a job, right? So it's gonna be one of those things where I'll do it when I want to do it. But right now, it's looking like, I don't know, a couple times a week maybe. Make sure it works. All right, cool. We in this. Also, what I do is you'll see like when I'm trading, I have work mode turned on automatically, and only family can get through on my phone. All right, let's focus up. Let's get focused. So what I'm seeing, and for those who don't know, I have incorporated a fractal model indicator into my trading. So if you've seen my recaps recently, you see these candles over here. You have seen these candles. So, but normally I'll keep it clean when I'm looking at the daily. So I have a bullish bias on indices. Why? Well, we had a candle through closure here, right? Off this low. And I'm looking to see some kind of upside. Problem is we've kind of disrespected the 50% of that previous candle. But, okay, but we have swept out this low, right? So I'm viewing this, and this is what? That's Asia low? Yeah. It still just looks like we're in a consolidation. I'm not going to lie. But my eyes, if you go and look at the daily chart on the other indices real quick. Okay, we have some SMT up here at previous day high. I'm checking it out here. Like so. So that's ES. NQ has not done that yet. All right. YM has not done that yet either. And YM actually has some equal highs, right? Here, here, here. Nice clean highs. But in my opinion, NQ looks like it's the strongest this morning. YM's kind of looking a little weak. ES somewhere in the middle. So that's how I view it, right? And for those who are wondering what my second screen looks like, it's literally just this. All right. I have ES, NASDAQ, YM, and all the time frames are synced up. Okay. So I can see, highs and lows, what's going on, any kind of SMT, just a broad overview. And I can flip back real quick. Once I'm in a trade, maybe I want to get granular. I can go on a 5-minute, see what's going on. But most of the time, I'm just kind of chilling on the 1 hour. So that's that. Okay. 3 minutes till open. So what I'm looking to see happen today. Gold, I'm bearish on. But it's not really looking like it wants to do much. If anything, I want to see us come up and sweep the external high of this range that we're in. Okay. So I needed to come up here and do something like this to get short. So I'm probably not going to trade that today. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that. And my focus really today is just the indices, right? You could be bullish on oil today as well. You had a nice expansion up, candle 3 closure on the daily here. I was looking for longs yesterday, but yesterday was more of just a consolidation day. On the hourly, you can see that here. Swept previous day high and kind of just chopped, right? Now today, you're kind of seeing that expansion a little bit higher, but we're so close to this high, it might just kind of chop up into it. But you never know. We could get news, kind of Iran news, and that could just send it. But in all honesty, indices kind of just look like the play. I don't want to trade this nonsense on gold. Silver, same thing. Oil, it's a little choppy up here. I'm looking to get moves like this. So indices look like the play today, if we're going to get something. But in all honesty, like, you're not seeing a lot of follow through in this market. Like, we immediately will have a move, like a one-sided move, or like maybe a day or two max, and then come back on the range and kind of chop a bit, right? And you'll get maybe a nice one-sided move, chop, right? And just a lot of weird, opens, gap downs, just weird action. So I'm really looking forward to getting out of this mess, right? And we're kind of doing it in its own way right now. But as for the price action, since I'd say, God, I mean, even like around here, even like October, September, October-ish, like right around here, it kind of started to get really shitty, We've just been stuck in this range for the good part of, I don't know, kind of breaking out of it now, 160 days. So it's been tough. To put it in perspective, I took 3 trades. I took 3 trades last month. All winners. Right? But I took 3 trades and got 5.7 R on the month. So if that tells you what my frequency is like and how selective I'm being in this market, That's how I'm operating right now. And I tried my hardest to not give any of it back, you know? But there's people taking 3 trades a day. And my style is more of, can I get that one winner and be done? Because I'm not looking to sit here. I'm not really a scalper. I like to sit on the 3 minute or higher for entries. But for me to get interested in longs today, I want to see how we first open, right? Because we have swept out Asia low here. We're in this hourly imbalance right here. Right? You can even say, oh, that's a nice little BPR, right? We're inside that. I want to see how we respect that at the open. And we do kind of have this like candle 2 closure at Asia low, right? So I'm looking now, kind of monitoring on the 5 minute. It's not the cleanest. I want to see how we open. And this is looking like a day where I'm probably going to wait till 10 o'clock to take a trade, right? And why 10 o'clock? Well, that's because when the new 4-hour candle opens, right? This one closes, the new one opens. Also, new 1 hour forms, new 30-minute, new 15-minute, all that, right? So that's a key time of morning. And I thought about playing some music, but let's see, don't want to get copyright striked. I'm not sure how to do that without getting in trouble, so I'll let you guys play your own music for now. Am I long-term bearish? Let's look at let's do like a big overview, right? If you're looking at the monthly, I'm long-term bullish still, right? We're in this monthly imbalance. You have this series of down close candles here that we could dig into, right? We could still retrace and go lower, but it depends on like what you mean by long term. You mean like the next couple of weeks, or you mean like the next couple of years? Like, do I think we're gonna crash down to like these lows? No. We could very well go lower from here. I don't really see this low getting taken out, and if it does, something major has to happen for that. Because this is the Trump tariff. And it's just so funny to see how quickly that move happened compared to like how long this move is taking. But most of the time, I'm sitting on the higher time frames, right? I'm sitting on the 1 hour chart, looking to see how these higher time frame candles are forming and closing. I mean, technically, we have a candle 2 closure on the weekly right here at this POI on the monthly. So when you look at it like that, and we go to the 4 hour, change state of delivery, and I'm looking for longs, right? You can kind of see why. Nice targets up here. Yeah, we could very well get daily high SMT. Like if I pull up my SMT chart here, you can see here SMT at the daily high, previous day high. We don't have that here within Q or YM. So SMT there. But you're seeing like how we get these candle 2 closures, right? Sweep out some liquidity, right? These daily highs over here on YM. And then immediately come back in the range, right? And you'll have some SMT at the daily highs. And like, I don't trade the candle 2s, you know? I can. I prefer not to. I'd rather just wait for the closure and trade the continuation the following day. I can do it. But in a market like this, I'd rather just be very selective. Yeah, World War III. You can see here, we pointed out that the hourly imbalance on in Q. You can see it's here on ES, here on YM. YM's going lower now. So we'll see. I'm not gonna fade my bias. I'm the kind of guy who, when I have a bias, I stick to it. And if the day doesn't align with that, then I just don't trade, right? Yeah, C2 closure on the hourly, right? On ES here, this high, but it's also CT closure at the low. So it just looks like chop, right? It didn't close super strong, it didn't close super weak. So, like I said, this just looks like a higher time from consolidation. And for me, like I said, I'm waiting for 10 o'clock. I'd like to see this imbalance get disrespected right here. Let me close above. That's going to kind of get me excited, maybe for longs. Let's clear all this off. Yeah. Gold consolidation, silver consolidation, oil close to that major high up here. What's crazy is the broker I use, AMP Futures, based out of Chicago. The margin requirements on some of these assets, like silver when it was ripping, gold, oil, was like absurd. And it's funny, I actually removed the majority of the money in my main account, my personal account, kind of beginning of this year, because one, I didn't want to be in a trade and so some bomb get dropped or news release and then like they suspend market orders for a period. You can't get out of your trade and the market just black swan events and drains your whole account, right? That can very well happen. It's like more, is it probable? Not really, but it can happen, right? And that's one of the things you got to keep in mind when you're trading a personal account is like, I've had, the CME suspend market orders on me when I was trading early on. I remember this. I'll never forget because I'll never let it happen again. But I was trading like a small live account. I think it was like 30 grand, maybe like 15 grand. And I was short and my stop loss was like $60. And I remember, so basically break even. And I remember like I forgot about CPI or some 10 a.m. news and I was short and all of a sudden news came out. Boom, market just moon rocketed long to the upside. And I was still short, but my stop didn't get triggered and it just kept running. And my $60 loss turned into a $600 loss. And I called my broker. I was like, yo, what's with that slippage? Like, that's insane. More I was mad at myself, but I was looking for someone to blame, right? I called them to see why it took so long to get me out. With the market order stop. And they're like, oh, yeah, like, sorry, the CME group suspended all market orders for, X amount of minutes or seconds or whatever it was to get me out of that trade because of the volatility. So it just goes to show like that is something that can occur, right? And if you're in like I trade way heavier size now. So if I'm in a trade and that happens, I'm risking like sometimes 5 figures on a trade. That right there can be a recipe for disaster and can really drain your whole account, right? If you're in a trade and that happens to you. So that's one of the reasons why I've kind of deleveraged and took that out of my account. The problem is because the broker will increase their margins on you. I think, let me look up what the margins are for. That client order. AMP future margins. Yeah, like look at the margins for oil. 13K. It used to not be that high. I think it was like 30K recently. We go look at like the intraday margin, right? You only need $1,000 to hold an E-mini NASDAQ, like a full NASDAQ contract intraday, right? They've reduced margin rates. But to hold that same contract overnight, you need 40K in your account just to hold one, right? So the volatility's been crazy, and so these maintenance margin requirements, they change them. I get emails every day because the market's so volatile. So what indicators do I use? In the description of the video. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this right here as well. So instead of dragging it over, I can just toggle it. It's gonna load. Damn. But if you guys are enjoying the stream so far, don't forget to hit a like. It helps me out if you want to support me. Yeah, gold not really doing much. What's nice is, you know, you have this monthly candle 2 closure, right? This looks like a retracement on the daily, respecting 50% of this previous candle on gold at this balance, okay? And we've kind of came down, expanded, hit these deviations right here, retraced off of it. So you could see that move lower. So that was one of the reasons why I've been bearish, especially because we had that daily candle 2 closure here at this high. So what you're kind of seeing now is like we're stuck between 2 high time frame POIs here and here, and we're kind of just chopping around, right? You need to see this imbalance right here get disrespected, close below to head lower, right? And I'd start targeting these daily lows right here, here, and eventually here. If gold is going to sell off. And I think if the Iran stuff subsides, if that's the word, but if the Iran conflict and that kind of stuff dies down and there's a resolution or a ceasefire, I think you might see this sell-off happen sooner than later. So it's nice to kind of blend like what the news has come out and said, right? Because you got to remember the market's forward-looking. So it's nice to kind of see how, based on the news, where are we in the grand scheme of this price action, right? And then what kind of news event or outlook moving forward on some economic situation or global conflict can cause price to kind of play out based on the price action, what you're seeing, cause it to play out a certain way. Does that make sense? But yeah, if you're looking for someone to sit here and mash buttons on a 1 minute chart, you're on the wrong stream. It's just off the open. YM definitely weakest. I think he's looking the strongest. ES, somewhere in the middle. Hmm. But as for the indicators, the fractal model ones in the description. I also have this like S&D profile one, seek and destroy profile one. I've turned most of the settings off. I just like to look at it because it shows me Asia session, London session. That's by TFO. Also, I live in the south, so like the pollen. If you hear me like sniffling and like breathing heavy, the pollen is absurd. But if you guys have any questions, hit me with them. Also, I can probably. Yeah, it's better. What do you guys like, a wider shot on the camera, or do you like a more tighter shot like this? Yeah, and that's the problem, right? Because I'm bullish off this candle two closure, even though we have SMT at these highs, right? I don't want to trade candle two. Like I said, I'm not gonna fade my bias unless it's like a super clear, clean example. And to me, like even on the daily chart, you can see this looks like expansion met with expansion, right? And we respected this imbalance right here. So I don't want to fade that, you know? So I need to see something similar to the downside to get short. I don't know what two stage or one stage is. I don't get that complicated with it. I think the simpler the strategy, the easier it is to execute. It also kind of just depends on like what resonates with you the best. Like me personally, me and T trades are friends and we trade the exact same now pretty much. Really just using candle closures on the higher time frames and then entering off of order blocks, right? Change the state of delivery. And maybe we can do a joint stream with T or something here in the future. But I really wanted to get my feet wet back in or on YouTube. This just looks really messy. Like nothing I like. I'm not a 1 minute guy. 3 minutes usually the lowest I'll go, and even that is looking pretty. It's just not in a hurry to do anything, right? We're just in this range, and yeah, we've swept some lows, right? This just kind of looks like a little seek and destroy in a 3 minute. So I'm in no hurry to do anything. If it's kind of unclear on the higher time frames, most people will drop down to the lower time frames. I'm doing the opposite. I'm trying to bump up higher. I'm familiar with like who Garrett is, just on like Twitter, but I've never really like looked at his content. How's the Porsche? About to buy a Panamera. Yeah, I have a GT4 RS. Um, actually, let's see if I can pull up some pictures. I had a guy, this high schooler is pretty talented. He came and took some photos of it. I don't know. Let's see if I can pull that up real quick. Yeah, not much going on. Just like yesterday. Does anyone know how to get iMessage? So I'm on a Windows desktop computer, right? Anyone know how to get iMessage like from Apple on your Windows desktop computer? Is that possible? So you're about to get a candle 3 closure on oil. Okay. Right here on the 4 hour. So I'd be looking for a 15-minute entry off that. The problem is, you have this. This would be a protected swing, right? If we closed above here. Right, this swing should hold. The problem is it took so long to. It hasn't even closed above yet, obviously. But the problem is if it does, it took so long to do so, right? I would have preferred like within this candle to close back above, but it's taken almost an hour to do it. So even that, right? Because you're gonna see this is gonna pop up, change state delivery, candle 3, and then this new 4 hour candle is gonna have some kind of T spot to go higher. The problem is it just took forever to close above, so this just looks like a consolidation now, in my opinion. And you need to see another sweep of a low to take a long. Let me pull up my. Leo Slays. What's up, brother? How have you been trading lately? Yeah, so I took 3 trades last month. All winners, 5.7 R in the month. But I've been very selective, right? And so, important question: who's T Trades? So T Trades is the guy who created this indicator here, TTFM, T Trades fractal model, and that's just like this indicator pairs with the way that we trade ICT concepts or smart money concepts, whatever you want to call it. You can look them up on YouTube. We'll have to do a joint stream or something together. But first, let me email this to myself so I can show you guys. Okay. 10 o'clock, about 7 minutes. That's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for 10 o'clock. Okay. Can you guys see this? This is a day trading stream, but I'm sitting here showing off my car. I swear I'm not. I swear my car is not my whole personality. All right. You see? Now this kid's pretty good. So I got a GT4 RS like July last year. I think it's mean. I just got it tinted too. It's my buddy Mason's Aston Martin. Carbon fiber. It's so sick. Bucket seats. We took this like a week or 2 ago. Yeah, less is more. I might not pull the most views from trading like that, but that's fine by me. I'm not here to entertain. I'm here to show you what gets you one of these. And the discipline it takes. Before I had this, I had a beater. I'll show you if I have a picture. I can find it. We shot some cool like industrial stuff. But then we also shot some rollers. This is downtown Charleston. It was sick because like the sky was overcast. And I thought it was gonna be shitty lighting, but it honestly makes the photos cooler because it's like more dramatic, Batman vibe. And then we went over the bridge. If you've been to Charleston, you know there's a big bridge. It's iconic. Went over that. I think. Wait, there's more. More photos. Hold on. Gotta load them. There we go. I think this right here is my favorite photo, or that one, because like the bridge has the lines. That's just so sick. There's no cars on the road. There's one right there. That's dope. And there's a cool nighttime spot that we can take some photos at. But anyways, that's the car I got July last year. What's the maintenance on it? I couldn't tell you because it's under warranty still. But the engine blew up at 1,600 miles. Unfortunately, it's a brand new car too. I was going like 110. Like 110 on the way to Daniel Island on the highway. And the engine just shut off on me. Like oil pressure went to zero. And I had to call AAA or like to come tow it back to the dealership. And they built me a whole new engine in Germany, shipped the old one back to dissect what happened, installed it in my car, and it was done within a month. So, pretty cool. Being a ride along. Yeah, it'd be fun. Before that, I had a 2012 Jeep Grand Cherokee with like 160,000 miles on it. Seats were ripping, like. So I pulled up, and that the reason I got that car because I told myself I'd drive the Jeep till it, blew up basically because it was paid off, didn't have a car payment, and one of the reasons I'm able to do this, like trade full time, um, is because I live below my means. Right, I'm not sitting here spending money on dumb shit. So when that blew up, I was like, okay, it's time to treat myself a little bit. That's it. That's what I did. But it's looking like pretty subpar today. I will trade, like, would be nice if we can get like a candle 2 off this new 4 hour. So like let's say we already taken the slow out, right? If we can, maybe close back in the range here. We don't have to close like candle 2 like this. Okay. But if we close, down here below the slow or at the low, whatever. But then the new 4 hour candle opens and we take out, do a sweep like this. I would look to trade it back. If I could get an entry on like a 15-minute or even a 5-minute off the 1 hour. So that's kind of what I'm hope. That's like my last hope, I guess you could say, for this morning to go long. It's kind of a subpar day. No shorts? No, I'm bullish on the indices based off the daily candle 2 closure. But you can see here we're disrespecting that now. So if you are going to go short, I would look for the next target to be for you to stay low, right? But 10 o'clock just opened. Let's see what happens. There's that 4 hour candle opening up. Right here. I'm not going to participate in shorts, but yeah, time from alignment. That's the thing about the fractal model is you sit on the higher time frames, right? Waiting for candle closures. Once you get the closure you want, right? That's when you bump down a time frame. And what you're doing is you're aligning the phases of price across multiple time frames, and that's where you're gonna get those quick one-sided expansion trades. But if I was looking for shorts off this imbalance, like I would just look for previous day low. You see, here's the 5-day average daily range. Yeah, longing now would be fading the daily range now, right? So this would be, because see, we're already disrespecting this 50%. So when you combine that with SMT at these highs right here on the daily, that to me just looks like, okay, previous day low is probably the new draw, right? And the fact that we're respecting these bearish premium arrays. Like I said, you want to see previous day low down here. Just checking on oil, gold, silver kind of starting to fall. God, silver had a huge drop. I've never seen a day like that in my life. That's like a, what's the range on that? 37% in a day range. Like that's absurd. Yeah, oil obviously. This wick high is the target. Yeah, like we were saying, 4-hour C3, and then on the 15-minute you'd see here confirmed candle 2. It's just for me, I'm not just gonna hop in, right? I want to see some kind of continuation form where I can put my stop to go short, right? So I'd want to see personally this candle. It's kind of tough on a 15-minute. On the 1 hour, you can see there's an imbalance here. If I was going to take a short, you want to see this candle close like this. A green candle be put in, right? Form a swing high. Close below that to go lower, right? I need to trade. I trade the continuations. So you'd want to see something like that. So I can put my stop at this high. Because I don't want to, hop in here, stop like up here or like here, right? That's not even like a 1R for previous day high. And I need 2R minimum. So if I was going to take a trade, like this would be a nice 2.5R if I got something like this, right? But you see how like I was mentioning it earlier, you see how we get these like candle 2 closures, right, on the daily right here. And then we'll sweep out like previous day high and then just completely disrespect it, come back inside the range. It's just not a market where you're getting a lot of follow through, right? And this model, the way we trade it, is a continuation model, right? You need one-sided expansion. When you don't have that and there's lack of follow through across the board, you're not going to get many setups. So that's the main reason why I took like 3 trades last month. But the good thing is, like, when I size heavy on my trades, so like one winner pays, for expenses and bills and whatnot for months. So it's like I know that when I do press the button, I pack a punch, right? Anyone play COD Zombies? I do know that when I do press the button, like I'm trading heavy size, so I don't need to take a lot of trades. I just need to size heavier on the good trades that I'm already taking. Also, like this day, candle 3, go to the daily on oil. Candle 3 closure, right? You're on this day. This would be your candle 4. And then by candle 5, you have the risk of price entering a new phase of price. But what I'm trying to kind of like not back test, but just like pay attention to is, let's say you have a candle 3 closure, right? And you're on your 4th day and we don't expand that day and kind of just consolidate, right? Is it still valid to look for a trade on the 5th day, right? Because this day didn't expand. So maybe we just get expansion on the 5th day, you know? So that's kind of what I'm trying to pay attention to. And that's why I keep looking at oil. Because like to me, if you did expect some kind of big move, like you could just enter off of hourly. Stop, you know, at the low or at the bodies, right? And look to kind of not swing it, but just hold it all day. It's just like in these conditions, like with the news popping up every single like day, you never know what tweet could pop out or what news event could happen, right? I'd rather not just sit in oil for hours and hours and hours because of that. I'd rather be in and out. But let's, you know, previous day low. Close. The only like setup I really see that you might have been able to take is if you were going to trade this candle too on the daily, right? ES, SMT, right? So when you have SMT, what does that mean? Cracking correlation between correlated assets, and that's when reversals are likely to occur. So you have that, right? Higher time frame POI, candle 2 closure on this hourly right here. Goes back inside the range. And so at this 9 o'clock candle right here, it already starts to expand, right? But what does it do? It puts in this up close candle here with a swing high. So you could do what's called a positional entry off this new 10 o'clock candle. Enter right at the open of the 10 o'clock candle. Stop above the body here or the high, whatever. It's you know, negligible. And then look for previous day low, right? And that's a nice little 2R. Stop here, entry here, right at the open of the 10 o'clock. And that would be your, you know, candle 4 continuation, right? But that's fitting the bias I have for today. Because what are we trying to do? We're trying to align all the time frames in one singular direction to get those one-sided quick expansive moves. And so when the daily is telling you to go long off the candle 2 closure, but the hourly is telling you something different, there's a conflict there, right? So I like the trades where everything's aligned. And that's what gives me confidence. Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat. Yeah, I only trade continuations. I can trade the reversal days like you're seeing here. I just don't like to, especially in this market. Like it would be a lot, I'd have a lot more confidence to trade those days if we weren't like, think about all this price action, right? You're gonna get killed trying to do that. But if we're in some kind of clean trend, like compare this to this, right? Down, up. Like when you have a clear trend, that's a lot easier to do. But when we're in this, I'd rather just wait for the closures. Thoughts on standard deviations? If you've been following me on X or Twitter like a few years ago, you know that was all I was posting about for a year. And that's another reason, like, you'll see, like, in this indicator, it paints those for you, right? -1, 4, 4.5, right? So it paints those for you. So yeah, I use them. I like to align them though with liquidity. I won't just take. I mean, you can take partials at them, but I like to align them with swing highs. See here, and here, here, right? But yeah, previous day low still pending on all assets. If you look in Q, close, yes, a little farther away. YM, same. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna go get some water. It looks like someone's talking shit to me in the chat on the Instagram story. OJ goes, "Talk louder, buddy." Yeah, not much to do. But yeah, see how we talked about this painting this line here. If I delete it, you can see it's there. It's just taking too long to close above this for me to want to get long on a 15-minute. Because, like, you have these equal highs, right? And now it's purging those highs. Could very well leave this and not come back inside the range. Only other, I mean, this is the same. This is the same setup as a 5-minute, right? I'll show you on NQ. For ES, we talked about this 5-minute setup, right? Entering right at 10 o'clock. Same thing on NQ, right? If you go on the 30-minute, we have this candle 2 closure. On the 30-minute, it expands downward, right? Sweeps this high. ES doesn't actually take that high. There's some S&T there. And then on a 3-minute for entry, you have this protected swing right here. And right at 10 o'clock again, you could have entered if NQ was your asset, right? So stop at the high, right? Target this low down here, previous day low. Maybe you want to use the bodies, which is a little bit riskier because it could still come up, tag you out, and be a valid trade for short, right? So if you're going to use the bodies, you got to be willing to get stopped out a little bit more. You might get better RR, but you can also get stopped out and the trade still be valid. Am I looking for a trade? No, not really, honestly. But I do want to kind of sit on here and talk and see how we react at previous day low, right? Because we're so close. It's just in my mind, we're in this consolidation, right? Because today could set up the rest of the week to go lower, you know? I mean, if you're looking at ES, this would be, if we're going to go lower, Tuesday high weekly profile, and you follow it up with expansion Wednesday and Thursday to, maybe this low right here. So, need to see how today closes. But like I said, I have a bias. I stick with it throughout the day, and if we don't form I'd want to see in the morning, then I just don't trade, right? Unless it's like I said again, unless it's super obvious on a candle 2 reversal day. To me, this wasn't super obvious. I needed it to be like really one-sided. You're starting to see us put in a little retracement now before previous day low. And it's just funny too, if you go look at the 5-minute, previous day low pretty much aligns with the standard deviations, right? -2 is right here. Yeah. Nice to see. What's up, Marco? Not much, man. I'm assuming you were probably long like I was today. Yeah, appreciate it, man. I'm trying to make it a little bit more of a habit to go live throughout the week, but only when I feel like it. Like today seemed like we might have a setup. So I was like, let me go live, let me get something on stream. But it kind of just respected the imbalance here and went lower at open. So what I short if H1 and M5 presents, what am I going to short to is the question, right? Because like you might put in a swing high here and then close below, right? And I could use this stop this high as a stop. So something like this, right? If we got a closure below. But what am I going to short to? Am I going to short to previous day low? It's not a 1R. A fixed 2R? If I'm going to do a fixed 2R, I need to get in pretty close to this opening price, right? Because if I get in right here, there's only how many points is that? That's 30 something handles. So I'd have to be super aggressive with my stop. If once we hit previous day low right here, I would go break even on my trade because it could easily sweep this low, hit previous day low, and do something like this, right? It could come down, you get in, hit this low, hit the -2, sweep this low, and come back, right, and reverse back inside the range, you know? So I don't want to take a trade short when we're already this close. And if I did, I'd be super aggressive with my stop because of that. But I mean, look at the 1 hour I'm putting in right now. I know it's like 38 minutes left in the candle, but like you're starting to see like why I didn't want to go short because there's no guarantee you're going to hit this low, right? The phases of price aren't aligned. And so, like I said, it seems like we're in a consolidation. So I guarantee you anyone who was short off this move is probably sweating a little bit now because they're probably targeting PDL. And we're about to disrespect this imbalance here on the 5 minute. So this, to me, looks like expansion met with expansion if we continue to push up like we are, putting in this reversal candle on the hourly. So you're starting to see like how I'm viewing the setups and like why I'm not pushing the button. That's why. Instead of like using, you gotta remember like, oh, like, yeah, you might go break even on trades and like take a bunch of break evens and be fine, or some small paper cuts. You might make a little money here and there trying to trade this, but is it worth it? Is all that effort worth it on your mental capital, right? Because the more trades you take, the more opportunities you have to make mistakes. And it's those dumb mistakes and those bad trades, they undo the good trades you're already taking. So is it even worth it for me to like want to do that? No. I'd rather just wait for the A+. Yeah, Marco, I'm not sure how long you've been in here, but I talked about if you're looking for someone who's like scalping the 1 minute, 15-second chart, if you're looking to be entertained, I'm sure we can do some entertaining stuff on here, but if you're looking for like that entertainment, you're on the wrong stream because all I'm trying to do is document how I operate every single day. And I don't put on sunglasses and trade every single day. I'm not sitting here yelling in my room every single day. You know, this isn't some like show, some reality show. I'm just streaming what I do every single day. You want me to repeat why we don't have to hit that low? I didn't say it. I didn't word it like that. But the way I worded it was, to me, it looks like we're in a consolidation, especially on YM. If I just remove all this clutter, just look at price. External range high hasn't been taken out yet. External range low. You can even call this, part of this low if you want to count this as a consolidation right here. Like so, right? Or you can use this as the external range low. Doesn't matter. It looks like we're in a consolidation. So to me, I'm just going to stay hands off because my bias is bullish. That's why it's tagged blue today. We're not getting the development or the structure that supports that. And we've closed below the 50% of the previous range, previous day's candle. So it's not one-sided, right? What is the fractal model? What's the goal? It's to align the phases of price across all the time frames, the daily, the intermediate term time frame that you're trading, right? It could be a 4-hour candle closure, a 1-hour candle closure, and then your entry time frame, right? So once those align, that's when you get the one-sided setups. So the fact that we're in a consolidation, it means that we don't have to take out all these lows. There might not be a draw yet, right? It might not be time to hit that low, to take that low. It could just keep engineering liquidity inside this range until it's ready, right? Does that make sense? But now this is looking like, again, we've just, you can, I like to count all these as like imbalances, right? So like technically, in my mind, until we kind of disrespect this top one up here, it could very well continue lower. But you're already seeing signs of when a market's like aggressively expanding, it would just hit this the closest imbalance and go lower, right? But the fact that we disrespected this one and this one almost, it looks like it's just not in a hurry to get down there. Since 10 a.m. 1 hour right here is not from a relevant swing. So the POIs that I'm looking for these 1 hour candle closures in are either highs and lows or fair value gaps. That's it. We have a fair value gap here off this candle closure. So if I was bearish for the day, I might look for a short off this, but I wasn't. I was bullish. So the daily is saying was saying bullish at the time. I want to see it respect 50% and go higher. But the hourly was saying bearish. So when it's conflicting like that, I'm not going to take a trade. Or very rare circumstances, I will. If you're going to trade a candle 2 reversal. I was looking for a candle. Sorry, this is candle 3. If you're looking to trade a candle 2 reversal, it has to be very like obvious to me. If you want to trade a candle 3 continuation, I'm looking for this day to respect 50% and go higher, which it kind of was here on this move up. And then we had this big down candle at 6 o'clock. And once we started disrespecting this imbalance, close below, and respecting this premium array right here, sound like a nerd. That was kind of just signs like, okay, we're closing below 50% again. I think maybe today's just not the day to trade longs. So that's what kept me out. You can see that's nice because the daily profile is not aligning with what I am looking for. If we go look at like the indices across the board, I mean, if I was looking for longs now, I mean, it just looks like consolidation. Like I wouldn't push the button, honestly. But I wouldn't even want to trade. I wouldn't want to if this 1 hour candle closed like candle 2 back inside the range and closed back up here, put in a candle 2 closure, I still wouldn't trade along because we have this failure swing down here and we have equal lows now, right? So I wouldn't trust this candle 2. So I'd want to see this take this out, then form a candle 2. Unless there was some kind of SMT, right? Unless there was some kind of SMT at this low, which we don't have. So, I mean, ES, low still pending. NQ, low still pending. YM, low still pending, right? So even if we put in a candle 2 closure like we are forming right now on ES, I wouldn't trade that because I want to, see the external low be taken out. Let's look at the 30-minute because we're getting a new 30-minute candle here in the next 15 seconds. Also, for those wondering who Marco is, he's one of my one-on-one. I don't want to use the word students. We work together on improving his trading and like trading the fractal model. So he was one of my one-on-one guys. Instead of thinking in small numbers, I asked myself, if I was risking a 10K, 20K in this trade, would I still take the setup? Yeah. Because like at the end of the day, people, I feel like, especially me, I was, it's only like if I risked $1,000 on a trade, it would This isn't like to brag or anything, but it's just realistically like I'm risking about $5,000 to $8,000 per trade right now. So if I risk $500 on a trade, I would absolutely feel nothing, right? Because usually I'm risking 10 times that. Um, so like if I was risking 500 on a trade, then I might be more prone to like take setups that are low quality, right? Just to get that dopamine hit of pushing the button, right? And to show like show you guys on stream, oh, I'm taking trades, like keep watching, Like don't leave my stream. I promise I'm taking trades. I'll entertain you, right? But if you were to risk like 10K, 20K on this trade, would you still take it? You know? Probably not. So 30-minute, I wouldn't be surprised if this just goes back in the range now and leaves these lows. You want to see now this small imbalance here, how that reacts. Here, here, even this one here, right? Does it respect it and go higher? And here's the 3-minute. You can see oil still doing its thing. Gold back inside the range. Silvers kind of sold off a bit. Let me make sure there's no like news coming out on Twitter about Trump stuff. Nothing really. Not much. Yeah, it's just looking like a no trade day, obviously. But right, you're seeing now these discount arrays, these bullish discount arrays, this fair value gap here be respected, push price higher. Same with NQ, higher. Same thing with YM, dip into it, higher. So this looks like expansion met with expansion, which is a reversal. But we're on a 3-minute chart, obviously. So I want to see that same thing kind of show on a 5-minute. But if you guys like this stream and like the commentary, let me know. Hit a like. It lets me know that you guys are enjoying the stream. It also helps me, helps the algorithm, push it out to other people as well who might want to learn. So if you guys want me to kind of do more of these in the future, like and subscribe. But my trading day, Marco knows this. My trading is usually around, I get at the charts around like 8-ish. And I trade from like 8:30 to like 11:30 at the latest usually. And then I go to the gym, right? So we're kind of getting close to that 11 o'clock hour because usually by 11 o'clock, the morning has already played out, right? The move for the day has already occurred. And you get lunch. Then you might have some, afternoon action, but I don't trade the afternoon. There's a New York AM session guy. EC of Trey. Yeah, man. I need to hear someone with more experience talk through what not to do on a more consistent basis. Yeah. Because it's like that's what kills you is doing stuff you're not supposed to be doing, right? But the problem is most people don't even know like what they're supposed to be doing and what they aren't. It's like what they make the same mistakes over and over again. And then they wonder why they're still where they're at 2-3 years from where they are now. That's why journaling is so important. But if you don't know what to journal, how to journal, then how can you know where you're messing up? It's one of the biggest things. Maybe one day we'll go through like some trades on TradeZella or something, and I'll show you kind of just a quick breakdown of how I journal. But yeah, like tagging your trades. Like I use TradeZella. There's a link in my description below this video. If you want to try it out, 20% off. But I use TradeZella. I've been using it since they came out with it, like version 1, years ago. And like it's crazy to see like where it was now, because I have photos on my like phone of like just screenshots of trades I've taken, and the UI is so like rudimentary, just looks completely different than it looks like today. So it's cool to see how far like these tools that retail traders have come, and like how good they've gotten. Because like what I do is I tag my mistakes. So if I make a mistake like FOMO, greed, trading against my bias, like if I took a short today and I took a loss down here, that would be trading against my bias, right? So I tag those mistakes, and I can go in the analytics side of the journaling platform TradeZella, and it'll tell me, hey, this mistake, this tag right here has made you this much money or lost you this much money, and this is how many times you've made it. Here are the trades you made it on. Well, here's the time of day that you did it, right? It tells me all that. And I can go in and see, okay, like I have a problem with FOMOing in. I got to curb that and figure out what I'm doing, what's causing that, right? And I can go in and change my behavior. So, but if you're not even journaling, you wouldn't even know that. That's what's causing you to lose. Most people, they make a mistake and just try and put it out of their mind and go to the next day, but they don't get to the root cause of what's causing them to make that mistake. And that's why trading is so difficult, because you have to be brutally honest with yourself, right? And it's hard to look objectively at what you're doing personally, right? Because one, you have to face it head on and be honest with yourself. But two, you got to make a change. And if you don't, you're just going to keep making the same mistake. Okay, so 30-minute gap just hit. 15-minute as well. And you want to see this get disrespected for lows or previous day low. But yeah, like you had this sweep of this high as well. Once we close below here, that'll probably pop up a little blue line. And do something like this, right? Close below. If we disrespected this gap and shorts were still in play, right? Because we also hit a big fig level. Like, look, this is 24,000 exactly. Hit that. And we're also at -2 standard deviations on the 3-minute. So, we'll see. Personally, I want it to come down and hit previous day low, right? Because I don't want this day. I want to take longs, I want to take longs off this reversal this reversal right here. So if we can put in a candlestick closure like off previous day low and look for longs tomorrow, that's what I want. I'll just wait till tomorrow to get the longs if it's going to play out. But like, again, it's cool because like we got 30 something people in here. 30 might not seem like a lot, but like imagine 30 people in a room. It's a decent amount of people for someone who hasn't streamed in 2 years and doesn't really post that much content anymore. So I appreciate you guys stopping in. We'll go till like 11ish and just kind of see how the rest of the day plays out, how this last hourly candle plays out. Just to reiterate, like I'm looking for days. I'm looking to trade days like this, right? One-sided expansion days. One-sided expansion days. I'm not looking to trade days like this or this, right? I want one-sided price action. A nice daily candle expansion. I want to be able to trade away from like a swing point, right? It's formed on the daily. That's what I'm trying to do. And we're just not seeing a lot of follow through on anything indice wise. Gold, a little bit. Those are some nice moves. Silver. We're getting some nice ones earlier. Go over here. But now like it's just kind of slowly doing its thing. Oil. Look at the volatility and look at the daily candles compared to like back in February. Insane. If you go on the monthly. We were just in this consolidation and we basically broke out of that. Hit these equal highs up here. And now it's kind of trying to decide what it wants to do. So that's kind of the overview of things. We're going to be live streaming more. The plan is to maybe do a few times a week. Like I said, the main reason I got into trading because I didn't want it to feel like a job, right? I didn't want to be tied to some kind of schedule, right? So I think what I'm going to do is moving forward, stream when I want to stream, like when I feel like it. You know, some days I might schedule it out the day before, go live at 9 a.m. and give you guys a heads up. Some days I might do like I did today and just, hey, 10 minutes before, tweet it out. Hey, I'm going live at 9 o'clock. And then post a link, right? So follow on socials. Stay tuned for that. And subscribe so you get those notifications. But as of now, like that's what's going to keep me like consistent with it and make it fun for me. Because I don't want to be here and like, oh, I got to do it every day at 9 o'clock, Monday through Friday. It's like, well, then it's just a 9 to 5 at that point. Sorry, not a 9 to 5, a 9 to 11. And it sounds so bad when I say that. It's like, yeah, you only have to sit here for, 2 hours, right? But like, I could pretty much know if I'm going to take a trade the night before. Okay. So I don't want to sit here if I know that like the next day is not going to be a trading day. Like I got my watch list tagged the night before. I know what direction I'm trading on my assets pretty much the night before. And then in the morning when I wake up, I'll do some analysis and see if it can the daily profile and the structure from overnight confirms that bias. And if it does, it gives me more confidence to look for my trades. Today could have been that. So tomorrow you're gonna look for longs if we take PDL. Yeah, it depends if this daily candle takes previous day low and closes back inside the range. If it doesn't, and let's say we just close like this, I'm gonna use ES to get bias because we did sweep the high and we have SMT up here. So this would be a candle 2 closure to the downside to look for shorts. So I'm gonna do what's called a framework transfer and transfer the framework from ES over to NQ and use that for my bias. Can you align your schedule to go live when candles align? That's what I'm trying to do. I don't want to stream like chop like today. But today we had a valid reason to look for longs. Candle to closure. Want to see it respect 50%, which it kind of did, right? Came down, swept some lows, which is fine, which is what I want to see. Came back up. And then, open the charts and we're down here at 8 o'clock. Oh, that kind of sucks. Because we have what? Expansion met with expansion. We had SMT at these highs up here. Previous day high. It's like, oh, great. I was already planning on going live last night. What do I mean about candle to closure? Go look up T trades on YouTube. Candle to closure is just a higher time frame candle closure. They have candle 2 closures, candle 3 closures. And also, if you want to go learn more, there's in my description, there's watch more. There's a bunch of trade recaps on there where I talk about it. So go watch some of those videos. Yeah, that's what these little C2s are. Candle 2 closure, candle 2 closure. Let's check back on that 30 minute. 30 minute. 3 minute. So this looks like, right, expansion, met with expansion, and now this looks like a retracement, right? Why is this a retracement and not expansion lower? Well, look how look how lethargic this move down is compared to here, right? V-shape versus like kind of a choppy downtrend, right? It's not to say it couldn't roll over and just go lower. It could. But if I was looking for longs, this is what I would want to see to trade away from for price to go higher, right? It's all about like, are we in a hurry to do something, right? Expansion is usually leaving in its wake imbalances, right? Fair value gaps. There's no imbalances in this move down right here. Nice, Pharaoh. 15 1 minute sell. Yeah, I told myself I'm not going on the 1 minute anymore. Not because I can't do it. It's just for the size I trade, the 1 minute, you're basically just asking to get stopped out more, which is fine. You're going to get way more opportunities to press the button. But for me, the 3 minutes kind of the sweet spot. Because I like the 5 minute, I like the 3 minute. And at least with a 3 minute, you can still get those opening drive plays like here, right? Right at 9:30. You can get a 3 minute candle too. Versus for the 5 minute, you'd have to wait all the way till 10. So but I'm not knocking the lower time frames. Just me personally, I know what I like best. Still pending this low. And it's weird, like you'll get these like you'll have this nice reversal, chop, move down, retrace, chop. It's just you're not seeing like price isn't in a hurry to do anything. Like once you get enough screen time, you're like, okay, we're obviously reaching for something. But when I sat down today and we opened up, immediately just kind of felt like we were in this consolidation. We had a couple, 15 minutes of fame here to the downside. And then we retraced that and left this low for later, which is kind of weird. And now we're kind of just chopping right above it. And it's just like that. Those aren't the days I want to participate. Like I want to be in days like this, right? But let me know, is the mic quality good? Is it loud enough? Is it clear enough? Is it too like blown out? Too loud? Pretty good. Got it. Yeah, nothing really catching my eye. It's like I told Marco this. The best setups, it's A plus setups, right? You don't have to search that hard to find them. Because once you know what your A plus setup looks like, once you know what you're looking for, it should just jump off the chart at you, and you're like, "Oh, I'm an idiot if I don't take this trade." Right? It should come off the chart, smack you in the face. That's what a good setup looks like to me. And so, after every trade, ask yourself, would you take that same trade again? Like, if it presented itself again, would you take it after seeing how it played out? Because you can still do everything right and lose, right? Still follow your process and just take an L. That's fine. Because your edge in the market's only so sharp. You're not going to win every single trade, even if it's A plus. So as long as you follow your rules, that's all that matters. But ask yourself, like, would I take the same exact trade again? Or did I get lucky, right? No, I don't use any GXT concepts. I haven't watched any of that stuff. I'm very selective with like whose content I consume as well. Just the TTFM. Almost 11 o'clock. I wish I had better price action for you guys so we could all be taking trades and making some money, but if I was a market maker, I wouldn't be here streaming. So a 4 hour. It's one of those days. Oil's so close. I think about all the people who saw this day right here. I'm like, oh, the run's over. It might have taken a bit, but 28 days later, we're back to that high. So, I mean, the weekly chart kind of gives you a good picture. Strong close on this week. Candle through closure. As you can see here. Sorry, was that a week or a month? Yeah, it's weekly. Okay. Retracement. Sweep out lows. Higher, right? The nice thing is like when you do see this like inside day after inside day, you're just kind of coiling, getting tighter. You're gonna get a move soon out of this consolidation. So yeah, it might suck in the moment, like, oh, we got nothing to do, just sit still. But we're gonna get something out of. Remember, I've talked about how these are kind of just bouncing between two higher time frame POIs. We're kind of just bouncing between the two, right? We're gonna get a move out of there. The main thing you want to watch is what side of the range do we take, right? First, we come down here, put in a candle 2 closure on the daily. We can trade away from it to target other side. Go long off this daily imbalance here. Or do we do the opposite and respect this daily imbalance right here and trade away from that, right? And do something like this. Come back and go lower, right? That's what, and target, you know, these lows right here, this low, this low. I'd rather just wait. I don't want to trade inside here. I'd rather just wait for it to take one side of the range before I do anything. Because you got to wait for the manipulation. And then you get the distribution. So that's how you trade a consolidation, right? Obviously, if you're trading like one of these, let me find an example. Like this is a pretty fun one. When we were inside this range for like, who knows how long this was? 46 days. So over a month of just kind of like in this range here. We finally came up and swept these equal highs right here, right here. It was so obvious when we came back inside the following day that shorts were the move. Here, here, and eventually we got close to here, right? You can see it left it for later. Chopped a bit. We finally got it. But just like when it's super clean like that, you kind of can say, okay, yeah, we closed above, but I want to see like how we trade the next day. Right? Do we come back inside the range? Or do we continue to expand higher? Right? And I think all-time high is right here, right? Yeah. So I think we're gonna get PDL here today. I just don't know when. Slowly. Come on, 5 minutes. Slowly digging into these imbalances, right? It's about to disrespect this one. Still have this one right here. But I'm thinking we go lower. Yeah, see you later, Marco. Did I eliminate bad habits? Yeah, I still make mistakes. Not really oversizing. Stuff like that. But mistakes I make more now are like trading the wrong asset. So like trading let's say I'm looking for longs. The mistake I've tried to crack down on this year is, or this quarter, I guess, is if I'm looking for longs, I want to trade the strongest asset, right? But sometimes I'm just like, oh, I like NQ better. I was going to trade NQ. But YM's actually the strongest. NQ's actually the weakest. And so YM will just run like I expect it to. But I'm in NQ. And it's the weakest one. So it's not really moving like I want it to. And I either get stopped out break even, or maybe I don't get full TP, whatever it is, right? So that's a mistake. I want to trade the strongest or weakest one depending on what my bias is. So that's like those are the kind of mistakes I make now. Not really not really like those mistakes you make when you're kind of first starting out, like over trading, right? I'm pretty dialed in on my process. Yeah, you see this 15-minute close. Look, I don't even have 1 minute on my chart up here. And I don't want to go on there because it adds it, right? You can see like 1 minute. Through closure. Pretty sketchy retracement with SMT though, which is kind of nice. I just don't really see an area where I'd want to get short up in here, right? Because like if you got in short, like let me close below here, your stop's all the way up here. Not even a 2R. It's just like the stop's really big. Maybe like you could do like this swing right here, but you're so close to the new 11 o'clock candle. It's like I said, I'm not really a 1 minute guy. At the equal lows. I mean, it's still pending. I mean, so far you have SMT with this low right here, but that could be temporary. But it's 11 o'clock now. New 1 hour. I wouldn't be surprised if we take this and just go back inside the range. Also, if I hop around too much in the charts, let me know. My brain moves like that, so I'm kind of just looking for certain things, and then I switch back. There we go. PDL taking on NASDAQ. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Jimmy. Once again, if you guys are enjoying the stream, hit a like. If you haven't yet, subscribe so you can get notifications on when we'll do another stream. If we look at the news calendar, we do have 8:30 news tomorrow. So, sorry, today's Tuesday. We do have FOMC meeting minutes tomorrow. But that's kind of outside the scope of like when I look for trades, right? I trade New York AM session. So, for me, it's still valid to take a trade that morning. Same thing when you have just the regular FOMC press conference with Powell speaking. Like, I'll still trade that morning. I'm just aware that the market may want to chop until we get that news in the afternoon. So I'm more cautious and aware of that. But yeah, PDL taken on NQ. I don't really see much else that I'm interested in. Obviously, I was bullish today. That's why you see the blue tags. Don't have any trades today. Daily profile did not align with what I wanted. And so now if we cut on the average daily range for the past 5 days, you can see we've pretty much played out for the most part that daily move. So I don't really have any interest, especially now that we've taken out PDL and taking a trade. I want to fade my bias. I don't want to go against that daily candle expansion. So I'm going to wait for tomorrow to see how we close. I'll say it again. If we close candle 2, a bullish candle 2, so we take out PDL and close back inside the range here on the daily candle, I'm going to look for longs tomorrow. On ES, let's say we don't close candle 2. We kind of just continue to kind of chop down and close down here. This will be a candle 3 closure for shorts tomorrow. And this will be a candle 2 closure for shorts tomorrow on ES. So in Q, same thing, candle 3 closure. That's kind of what'll get me my bias. And I do my analysis at 6 o'clock Eastern time at night. So when the new day opens, right, I'll open the charts and I'll go through, tag my watch list, see what we did. And then the next morning I'll go in and see, okay, does the daily profile confirm that? Try and get some extra confluence and go from there. So that's what you guys kind of saw me do this morning. But keep an eye out for a post on socials like Twitter, X, Instagram. That's kind of when I alert when I'll be live. And also, obviously, you can subscribe to YouTube and check the notification box, right? And that's going to ping you with notifications as well. But we're probably going to do some giveaways here too on stream. Whether maybe it's some funded accounts, maybe it's indicator subscriptions, right? So if you're into that kind of stuff, again, show up to the streams. And it's because, like, what? We got 30-some people in here. Your odds of winning something is way higher than if you were watching, like, some guy with 1,000 viewers, right? So if you really actually want to milk some giveaways, come to my stream. Because we got 30-some people in here. So you get a 1 in 30 chance versus a 1 in 1,000 chance. If we're doing just one account or one giveaway, right? But we'll probably do multiple. So if that's what you're looking for. We'll be doing some of that. Also, congrats, Jimmy, on passing that account. I think I'm going to call it here, guys. It's 11. Not much going on. Once again, I want to thank you guys for stopping in. Like, subscribe if you enjoyed the stream. And I'll see you guys sometime later this week. Peace, guys.